Hi guys, how are you? Thanks for coming. Okay, so I'm going to talk about being physically active in the home. Bruce, can you go to my slide, please? Oh, actually, I can do that. Thank you. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So I work for the Alzheimer's Society. I'm the social recreation coordinator. So I help plan the programs and implement all that we have at the society, mainly in recreation and some help with some First Link programs. So I can talk about a few of the programs that have some physical activity in it afterwards, but we'll start out with why. Why should we be physically active? So I'm not going with the slides as much. I'm just talking. So it's important to stay physically active to stay independent in the home as long as possible. So we need to be able to stay independent, and to do that we need to be able to lift, reach, bend, carry, move around, and as long as we can do that, we can stay independent in the home as long as possible. So to do that, we need to stay physically active. Even getting in and out of the car, things like that, you need to be physically active and strong and flexible to do so. So inactivity can lead to a decline in many things such as bone strength, muscle strength, heart and lung fitness, and flexibility. Inactivity can be as harmful as smoking. But there's tons of benefits to being physically active. Feeling more relaxed. When you start working out and you start exercising, you feel much more relaxed right away. It's an instant gratification. You can sleep better, and that's very helpful in the disease. It's fun. It boosts your morale, releasing your endorphins. You have better mood, a more positive mood day to day. Better physical and mental health, improved quality of life, more energy, fewer aches and pains, better posture and balance, improved self-esteem, weight maintenance, stronger muscles and bones, relaxation, and reduced stress. So these are some common benefits, and there's tons of research telling us that it can reduce the risk of several diseases, which these guys touched on, such as heart disease, falls, injuries, obesity, everything you can imagine. It reduces the risk of that. So up here, I have listed some most common physical activities that you can do out in the community, but I'll talk about many more physical activities you can do in your home. But these are the common ones, and actually here at the Senior Center, they have a lot of these already, and at the Alzheimer's Society. So this is the guidelines. They suggest 150 minutes a day, so about 30 minutes, a week, so 30 minutes of brisk walking a day. So you can break that up into 10 minutes. So if you did 10 minutes in the morning, at lunch, and in the evening, that's your way of getting 30 minutes a day, every day for a week, and you'll be good. So enough to get your heart rate up, but you can still have a conversation. So these are the guidelines suggested for 55 and over, and it's a good way to start it out and to live by. So as long as you're doing this, you're being physically active in a good rate. So sitting disease. Sitting is the new smoking. What does sitting do to our bodies? If you're sitting, you're constricting your body from having that oxygen flow through your body. You're not able to get that oxygen to flow to your brain. Therefore, you're not going to be very clear or focused. So if we're getting up and we're moving, the oxygen was flowing through our bodies and we're able to talk more clearly, feel a lot better. Oxygen is so good for your brain. So if you're sitting, you're not helping your brain at all. So when you sit, there's several ways to do active sitting. So when you sit, place a small exercise ball in your lower lumbar, and that helps you, your posture sit up straight. It helps the oxygen flow at least a little bit more if you're sitting and you're working at a desk or something like that, or if you're reading. But there's also active sitting. So if you're watching TV at home, this is how I like to exercise at home. If you really don't like exercising while you watch TV, I like to get down on the ground and start exercising while I watch TV, but there's ways to active sit, and I have brought I'll go back to this, but there's a bunch of these in the back, and I give these out in our Minds in Motion program, and these are the 10 exercises that increase your functional mobility to keep you living independently in the home as long as possible. So we'll go back to this, but so practicing active sitting, you can do toe taps, leg raises, I love to do the ABCs. So if you put your one leg up and you do the full ABCs in capitals on each leg, and you're working your hips and your knees and your whole entire legs. If you'd like to march, you can stand and hold a chair and march. Sit to stand, that is very important. And if you're sitting and standing, it's good to be doing that consecutively. Don't just do one at every commercial. You do 20 at every commercial. And then, I already touched on the leg alphabet. Also, sitting creates back problems, it strains your muscles, muscle degeneration, leg disorders. So important to get up and get moving. And so if you've not been active yet, how do you start? So start with activities you can easily build into your daily routine. Build it up gradually. Don't try to do too much at once. You'll be amazed how quickly you begin to feel energetic, stronger, and more flexible. The more you move, the better you feel. So I always say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Older adults who are active function and fitness of those that are much younger. So it's never too late to start. Some ideas to get you moving at home is to purchase a Fitbit or a pedometer. People love to challenge themselves every day, create challenges. I'm going to do 20 steps per day. I know our staff member, Nancy, will have meetings in the auditorium, and she'll walk around the auditorium. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Active sitting, I already said that. Move around frequently. Stand and sit several times in a row. Stretching. Stretching is so important every day to keep you flexible as much as possible. And then things you can walk your dog, take your grandchild for a walk, join a class in a senior center. As Elise touched on, socialization is also very, very important. So I like to have a buddy when I'm working out or exercising, even if you have a neighbor that wants to walk with you around the neighborhood every morning. It's going to give you that commitment that you have to stay along with, and that also helps you with the brisk walking and having a conversation at the same time. So you're doing everything at once. So it's really good to have a buddy when you're working out. Cleaning can be exercising, so mopping the floor, washing your car, some yard work, vacuuming. It can be a workout in itself. So these are some common ways you can move around at home a little bit better. So again, these are the 10 exercises that help maintain your functional mobility as long as possible. It was developed by the Canadian Centre for Activity and Aging. It's a home support program, so it's suggested to contact your healthcare professional before you commit to this. But things like walking from room to room, wall push-ups, and it gives a beginner stage and a progression stage for each one. You can add bands to these, you can add weights to these, but these are the ones to keep you walking and balanced and standing as long as possible. So these are really important to do. So that's all I have for today. Not 16 minutes, but good enough. Yeah.